The Whitetail Institute of North America presents Scent Blocker Most Wanted, brought to you by the Whitetail Institute of North America. Research equals results. Ford and your quality Ford dealers. Matthews Archery. Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Your adventure starts here. Scent Blocker. Nothing gets you closer. And Mossy Oak. It's not a passion, it's an obsession.
You know, as a deer hunter, we're always looking for cold weather. Maybe not quite this cold, but we've been driving for the last 8 hours. We're in central Kansas, not too far out of Pratt, hunting with our good friend Mac and Shelby with Hang'em Outfitters. The Scent Blocker crew, well, they're all here and they're raring to go. The first afternoon hunt, we decided to come into a ground blind, and the reason for it, a north wind blowing straight into the blind, but we didn't have time to hang our tree arms and bases to get cameras in a tree to film tonight. So with that said, we're a little different hunt this afternoon. We may be here in the morning, but tomorrow afternoon we're going to be hunting in the woods in a place that I've seen some really good deer and had an opportunity to shoot one last year. And with the fog and the rain, my peep sight has got what they call a verifier in it, and it was full of fog and wet. And when I pulled back, I couldn't see a good clear image, and I let this deer walk. How frustrating is that? We haven't even got good camera light, just barely enough to see. And a buck that we don't even have pictures of. It's a 150 class buck, comes walking straight in. There's this stuff right here. Turned, still no shooting light for either my bow or the camera. Turns and walks to the north. He probably got about 40 yards, 50 yards down there. Running a few times, he stopped, he turned, he came back, went all the way up through here, came by, probably only about 35 yards. He gets over here, he goes down in the ditch. We still haven't got good camera light. I turned the pin, my lights on my sight on, and he walks out to the tree. But he stops and he starts looking up this way. Well, not enough visibility to see up that hill yet. And he gets there, I turn my light on. I use what they call a verifier. My eyes aren't what they used to be. And I could not get enough light through my peep sight. I could see my pins, but I could not see through there. And that's too good a buck just to be slinging an arrow at 40 yards. But I was certain he was going to come right back down here and run him right back through here. Another big mature buck. It's probably as wide, not as tall. It looks like maybe a 4 on one side and 5 on the other. Looks like a G2 broke off. Comes down, and what's he do? He skedaddles and goes right out to him. How frustrating was that? It was just a matter of minutes, and we would have had light. Holy smokes.
Scent Blocker's Most Wanted is brought to you by Covert Scouting Cameras, a camera for every need and budget, and Premier Farm Realty Group and Auction. Own a slice of America's heartland. Scent Blocker Most Wanted is brought to you by Element Archery, built to hunt, and Thorn Broadheads, driving accuracy through hidden blade technology.
Welcome back. As you seen last night, our first evening, driving into Kansas, we're hunting with Hang'em Outfitters just outside of Pratt, Kansas. You know, normally an 8-hour drive, well, it took 10 hours. We had snow, we had ice, we had cars, trucks in the ditch, but you know, it's well worth it to hunt here with these guys because they've got some incredible deer hunting. You know, this particular stand that I'm going to hunt tonight, I'm pretty familiar with. This is a place called Granny's. She got a house up here on the hill, and it's just a good place for bucks to show up. Why? Because it gets lots of does. And this time of year with the girls, the boys will follow. But you know, last year out of this same tree, and you know, we've been doing this 22 years and have very few technical difficulties, but I'm full draw on a buck that walks right out from underneath us, walks out here at the water, and as I get ready to release an arrow, the camera guy looks up and the camera died. We've all heard of the old saying, Murphy's Law. And what you just didn't see is what just went wrong. You know, we've been doing this for probably 21, 22 years, and what just happened is absolutely by no fault the camera guys. He happens to be behind the camera, but you know, we've always used good equipment and never really had problems, and we do carry backup cameras, but we just had a nice buck come in. 25 yards, he's comfortable. Definitely a deer that is on the most wanted list, even though it didn't have pictures of it. Wasn't expecting that buck, but for whatever happened, the camera just shut down. You know, we went from rain this morning to fog to kind of clear it off. The fog moved back in, and man, oh man, you know, when you watch TV, usually most of our hunting shows, usually you see something that's good, it's exciting. But there, what just happened, well, that wasn't so good. But it is what it is, and pretty frustrated at this point. I'm going to cover back up. We've got the other cameras set back up, and we're good for the rest of the evening, and hope we don't have any more of these mechanical difficulties. The good news is, well, we carry backup cameras with us. The bad news is, I couldn't shoot the buck without video. So the buck ended up walking away. He's still running around here somewhere. But you know, these guys for our Most Wanted show are always making certain that they've got some big bucks in areas that they're checking out and knowing. And this year, there's no drought. So with all the rain they've had, great news is we have a food source with Whitetail Institute food plot that is next to none. With all the water, the food plots really grew. So what we're looking for is the girls to show up. We've got 2 or 3 bucks that I would consider shooter bucks that it's on my most wanted list, and I'm not going to be real picky. These are 145 to 155 class deer, and in Kansas, you never know what's going to show up. Looking out in that CRP field. Bet there's something else coming. Right here. 2 bucks. Can't shoot. Too slow. The other ones are little button bucks.
ScentBlocker's Most Wanted is brought to you by IM Performance Nutrition, fueling the outdoor athlete, and Matthews Archery. ScentBlocker Most Wanted is brought to you by Mission by Matthews and Kirsch Targets. Train smart, finish strong.
Settled in for the afternoon. As I said earlier, you know, it's all about food source and water supply, and we got them both this afternoon. But you know, this is one of them spots that it's a little different type hunting. You're looking out across here, CRP fields, and them deer are just they're bedded down on both sides of us, and they're just gonna pop up out of nowhere. And as later it gets, the more they're gonna filter in here. At least that's our plan for tonight. seen him in the CRP. I seen him hunch up, and right behind these trees, I seen him fall. Between it getting chilly and me getting nervous, whew, wow. That buck came through here. He had a doe and a fawn. He went all the way down there. And he got down there, and I didn't think he was gonna come back. We had 8 does out here in this food plot right here, feeding. And I looked up and I seen this fawn coming. Next thing I knew, he put his head down and here he came. And he came just like on a string. Holy smokes. Was that not awesome? I'm gonna walk down real quick and look out there before we lose light. Man, what big bucks do to me, this is crazy. This is insane, but man, it's just fun.
Scent Blockers Most Wanted is brought to you by Pure Whitetail, 1 deer directly to 1 bottle, and Old Oaks Outfitters, Indiana's premier hunting destination. Scent Blockers Most Wanted is brought to you by Ford and your quality Ford dealers. Mossy Oak, it's not a passion, it's an obsession. Tree Spider, the new world of tree stand safety. The Heartland Archery Series, made by hunters, for hunters. Finlayson Lake Resort and Campground, making your dreams real. And Doug Myers Taxidermy, the official taxidermist of Scent Blockers Most Wanted.
I seen him in the CRP. I seen him hunch up, and right behind these trees, I seen him fall. Well, we just crawled out of the tree. I actually walked over around the tree. The doe's busted out, and right where I seen him fall, he is down. I'll tell you what, I've been doing this TV for 22, 23 years, and I still am razzed up and get excited. You know, I got him in here, and the problem was we had 8 or 9 does in here, so when he came in here, my big concern when a buck is chasing does, the worst thing that can happen is he gets in here, smells a hot doe, the doe run, and out he goes. So I didn't give him much time. We don't have a lot of footage. I'll tell you what, as you can see in the background, we don't have a lot of light. We're probably have to turn the light on the camera. We're going to recover this guy. You know, as I told you a while ago, if you go where the girls are at, the boys will show up. Here he is. G2's forked, just a big old body, rutted up buck. You know, I'm shooting the new Atonement arrows with a brand new thorn, and I definitely put a thorn in his side. You know, we're shooting at a steep angle, so I shot a little high, but it went down, and like I said, from this tree stand here, we're probably not 65, 70 yards. But look at that. That's why we drive all the way to the central part of Kansas to hunt with Hang-em Outfitters. They just got some toads over here. I think one of the exciting things is, this is the first opportunity I've had to shoot the new Vertex. But man, oh man, did it do the job. Got split G2, mainframe 10, like I said, a big old mature buck, all rutted up. When he was running out there across the field, I could see just the steam coming out of his mouth. Big old noggin head on him. That old hard head got him in trouble. I told you, you go to these food plots this time of year and the does are going to show up. That's what made it possible for me to kill this buck. I cannot stress enough about food, and how important it is to planet.